Welcome back to Can't Think Straight. Today we are celebrating the holidays, as you can tell by my hat and Cthulhu shirt, and we have officially reached the final episode of season 5, which is crazy. But we'll be back with a brand new season in January. As usual, I've got some fun plans for our next season, so make sure to tune in after the break. But before I get ahead of myself, let's reflect on season 5. Who the heck is this?
Sweet.
Oh.
I wouldn't necessarily recommend this, but I'm recommending it right now.
People make me try that again.
Moving on. You guys know you're not getting paid, right? My butt look good?
I'll literally die. Okay. Where are we going?
Write that just as much as I did.
Over the last few months, we discussed performative activism,
is support for a social justice cause that is in some way self-serving or shallow.
gay slang,
She is so slaying the Boots house down right now.
and pride flags,
I chose the lesbian flag because it's really pretty.
all in the crash course. Some changes were also made this semester. We got a new set, welcomed some new segments, and Kylie handed the crash course reins over to Kennedy.
Where the heck is Kylie?
Kennedy actually decided to throw it back to episode 1 of this season and talk about the history behind Pride Month. All right, Kennedy, enlighten us.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Crash Course Can't Think Straight. I'm your host, Kennedy Madron. And I don't know about you, but I've noticed that there's been a bit of a chill in the air up here in the high country, which means everyone is bundled up like Snoopy in his puffer jacket and freezing their baguettes off. With how cold it is outside, nothing makes me feel warmer than to think about the beginning of summer. To think of my feet in the sand, getting a nice golden tan, not having to cram, stress, and have 5 mental breakdowns over final exams, and pride flags. Can't help but think about June, right? Well, isn't that convenient? Because that is what we will be talking about today, how June became Pride Month. So let's learn a little something, shall we? So way back in June 1969, there was an inn called the Stonewall Inn, located in Greenwich Village in New York City. And in this inn was a bar where many gay, lesbian, bi, and transgender people could find refuge and have fun and mingle with like-minded people. But being that this was in the late 60s, homosexual expressions were illegal and were far from being accepted. Thus, it was illegal for bars to serve queer patrons or have queer employees, which meant police raids were unfortunately common and often targeted at gay bars during this time. So when a violent police raid bombarded the people in Stonewall Inn, injuring many innocent civilians, the people of Stonewall decided they had to fight back. This dark moment is now known as the Stonewall Uprisings, and it sparked a revolution full of protests for human and gay rights, which would be a massive stepping stone in the development of LGBTQ rights as a whole. And so like a phoenix rising from its ashes, so did all the gays. The next year, on the anniversary of the Stonewall riot, the very first Pride Parade was set in motion. Around 500 people marched, starting from the Stonewall Inn, went up 6th Avenue, and then headed toward Central Park. This parade traveled 15 blocks and attained many more supporters while the parade marched on. This parade is considered the first event kicking off the very first Pride Week. And many other major cities across the nation joined and wanted to get in on the celebration that same year. These cities included Los Angeles, Boston, Chicago, and San Francisco, who would later become the birthplace of the first ever Pride flag, but there's more on that in episode 4, so if you're interested, go check that out. Anyways, all the cities banded together to advocate for their rights and celebrate with pride, while also protesting the unfair treatment of the LGBT community. And for the next 3 decades, Pride would be unofficially celebrated in June every year with parades, protests, and advocacy until 1999 when President Bill Clinton declared the Stonewall Anniversary, or June, to be Lesbian and Gay Pride Month officially. And then if we fast forward 1 more decade, in 2011, President Barack Obama will then build off of Bill Clinton and extend Pride Month to include the entirety of the LGBT community. And Obama will then go further in 2015 to legalize same-sex marriage in the United States. All of this to say that without the brave souls at Stonewall and all the many advocates and protesters for the past 6 decades, these things that I just mentioned would not be possible. Now here in 2023, it has become a full-blown celebration full of inclusion, acceptance, diversity, and love for all to celebrate. But it's important to recognize the many pioneers that gave their lives and fought for this current event to be celebrated the way it is now, all over the nation and in some parts of the world. And though we have a lot of work to do when it comes to fighting for our rights, gaining equality in the workplaces, in healthcare offices, and in social and political spheres, if we continue with strength, acceptance, empathy, and love, I think we will continue to make great strides in all people being able to celebrate their pride. Well, that's all I have for you this episode. Stay warm, be merry, and be you. Happy holidays. I'll catch you next time on Crash Course.
I really love that we came full circle right there, because as I was writing the intro to this episode, I was like, it's a shame we never did a crash course for the Pride episode, like the history of Pride and stuff. But then boom, Kennedy texts me and she's like, hey, don't even worry about it, I got you, which was awesome. All right, go grab a snack or whatever. We'll be right back.
Bryce in the shotgun takes a snap. Troy sends 4. Bryce rolls left, gonna heave it deep, and it's not gonna get there. It's caught by Christian Horn. He's around the outside, and it scores! He scores! App State wins! Holy mother meatballs! It's a touchdown for App State on a Hail Mary! Christian Horn! Touchdown!
Okay, hey guys, what's up?
I hope y'all took my advice and got a snack, because low-key this is about to hit. Also, Austin, my boss. If you're watching this, this snack is fake and this is off the record, and I'm definitely not eating in the studio. Don't even worry about it. Let's get to headlines. Some pretty big news for the queer community here in Boone. Trinity the Tuck hosted Drag Bingo with Benadryl and Molly Pocket with the Boone Barbies at our very own Appalachian Theater. The show was a huge success, and it was great to see App State collaborate with our local queens. Thousands took to the streets in India to celebrate queer pride recently. On Sunday, November 26, participants marched alongside one another to celebrate love. This is kind of late news, but I have to say something about it because Bottoms was gas. The movie was so good. There was humor, sapphics, and violence. What's not to freaking love, man? So if you haven't seen it, go watch it. International Women's Cricket has banned trans women from competing in the sport. This topic often brings up a lot of controversy, so I'm not gonna add a quip to this one. North Hertfordshire Museum changed the pronouns of a Roman emperor to help promote the subject's identity as a trans woman, which is pretty cool. I enjoy seeing bits of queerness in history. It's honestly pretty rare. Pandora Knox became the first ever cis woman to ever win a drag race. The Austrian queen won the title with Germany's Drag Race. So congratulations to Miss Knox. The pop star, Pink, has been giving away thousands of banned books at her Florida performances. She has partnered with PEN America, a literary and free expression advocacy group, to distribute copies to her fans. The Love Island franchise has broadcasted its second ever same-sex couple, and the male contestants had some pretty funny reactions. And with that, our headline segment comes to a close. The holidays are here and Can't Think Straight is still super queer, so let's gather round the candle fire and read loud for all to hear. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Melissa Weddle, and I'm Department Chair of Recreation Management and Physical Education at Appalachian State University. We offer 2 degree-granting programs, one in Recreation Management with a focus in Outdoor Experiential Education, Recreation and Park Management, and Commercial Recreation and Tourism. Our 2nd degree-granting program in Health, Physical Education, and Coaching offers teacher certification for public schools in health and physical education. You can get a minor or certificate in coaching. We are the front porch to the Beaver College of Health Science, where our focus is on quality of life, wellness, and physical activity. We're located in the beautiful mountains of Boone, North Carolina, so come join us, check out our website, or take a class.
Welcome back, everybody. With the weather getting cold and the holidays around the corner, it really makes you want to curl up with a good book, especially one with a bunch of gay folk in it. The CTS crew and I have a couple of good recommendations for you guys, so give us a second to get cozy and we'll be right back. Why, hello there. It's me, your lovely host. Welcoming you to our cozy little segment we have here. Last week we talked about films. This week, talking about books. Riley's going to be taking over from here. She'll be discussing lots of good reads that she's enjoyed that represents queerness in media, so do enjoy.
Hi, I'm Riley. I'm here to recommend some incredible books. First up, we have a classic. Fried green tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe. Now, you may know this from the popular movie, but I'm here to tell you, you are not getting the whole story. You need to read this book. It's a classic. It will change your life. Next up, The Miseducation of Cameron Post. Now, this one, I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit tough to get through, but it is very gay. There are some triggering topics. Main character Cameron Post is sent to what is essentially a conversion camp. And that's all I'll say. Yeah, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This is the greatest book of all time. I'm not afraid to say it. This is the greatest book of all time. You'll laugh. You'll cry. You'll possibly even throw up. And then you will cry again. This is life-changing. This is my personal copy. It's bent because, I don't know, I think I've bitten this book. There are pages in here that are impossible to read. They're stained with tears. This is the greatest book of all time. Lastly, yeah, I know what you're thinking. You're a freak. But I'm here to tell you, maybe I am. I can guarantee you've never read anything like this before. I wouldn't necessarily recommend this, but I'm recommending it right now. I'm changing my mind. I would say read this book if you like kind of gross things. And it is, of course, gay. And there's some really interesting things that transpire. I really just have nothing to say but trigger warning poop. And that's all I'll say. Thank you so much for listening to me talk about these books. Back to you in the studio, Jenna.
Well, everyone, that concludes the final episode of Season 5. Now, I will leave you with this. Have a great day, be gay, and make sure to take a sleigh ride. See you next season.